Homework 6, question 2. So the question is giving us that the fxy of x and y is equal to b. X squared plus y squared is smaller equal to 1. And then it's going to be the fx and y of xy is equal to 0 otherwise. So A is asking find the b so that the fx of xy equals to b is a valid joint function. So we know that from negative infinity to 1 integral of that of xy of x and y dx dy is going to equal to 1. So obviously we can know that the b is going to be equal to 1 over pi. So second question is saying find the e of x, e of x over y, e of x over capital Y, e of y over x, and then e of y over capital X. And finally find the e of x and y. So we know that e of x is going to be just equal to integral from negative infinity to infinity x times fxy of xy dx dy, and then we know it's going to be equal to 1 over pi integral from negative 1 to 1x times integral from because of the y range, which we know that x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So we know the y is going to be equal to 1 minus x squared of the square root of that, and then from negative to square root of 1 minus x squared, and then times 1 dy dx. So from integral of that, we know that it's going to be equal to 2 over pi integral from negative 1 to 1 x times square root of 1 minus x squared dx equal to 0. So for the e of x over y is going to be just equal to 0, and because we know the e of x over y is equal to 0, the e of the expected value of x over capital Y is going to be equal to 0 as well. And because the function is a symmetry function, so we know that e of y is going to be equal to e of x, which is 0, and the e of the y over x is going to be equal to 0. And we know the e of y over x, capital X, is going to be equal to 0 as well. So for the e of xy is going to be equal to 1 over pi times the integral from negative 1 to 1 integral from negative square root of 1 minus x squared to square root of 1 minus x squared integral from xy times dy dx. And then we do the calculation, we find out it's going to be equal to 1 over pi integral from negative 1 to 1 times x times the inside integral of y dy dx, and then it's going to be equal to 0. C. Prove or disprove x and y are uncorrelated. Well, now we know the C is equal to expected value of xy minus e of x times e of y, and because e of xy is equal to 0, e of x equals to 0, e of y is equal to 0, we know the C is going to be equal to 0. So we know e of xy is equal to e of x times e of y, which prove that x and y are uncorrelated. Now we also know that y is equal to 2 pi over pi square root of 1 minus y squared for y. Absolute value of y is smaller than 1, and we know fx which is fx, and now we know that fx of x times fy of y, which is not equal to fxy of xy. So we know that x and y are not independent either.